Welcome back. So what do you know? I've got time to recap these three games. So I just have seven more to go and then the night's done. Um, I gotta say, I like the timing of today's games. It's helping me greatly, and you find people on the internet get to see the recap of the games that may be of interest to you a little bit earlier. All right, so we're going to start things off talking about Edmonton and Seattle. This is a tough one for Seattle. They played a good game. The goaltending that voice in the back of your mind, if you're a Seattle fan, I would think. So it's Skinner versus Grubauer, and on their first shot, Evander Kane scores. That's 135 in. Hyman and Nurse with the assists. Now, Seattle gets a power play shortly thereafter. Dunn, though, he has a shot that's held. That power play is killed off by Edmonton. Oilers then get a power play. That's killed off as well. And then Vince Dunn, who's been on quite the run himself, he scores from Beniers and Schwartz at 6:34, and that was during a really good press by Seattle, so it's a tie game. Shots are 7-3 Kraken at 8 minutes. The Kraken press with 5 minutes left. Eventually, though, it is the Oilers who get the lead back. It's Yamamoto tipping one in at 16:36. Nugent Hopkins and Draisaitl with the assists. And then the Oilers have a little bit of momentum. They press in the final minute. It's 2-1 in their favor after one. Second period, 43 seconds in on an opening press of the period. Kane gets his second of the game. He scores from McDavid and Ekholm. So Ekholm continues to have a remarkable run with the Oilers. He fits in really, really well. Ken Holland made a good move at the deadline there. Janmark then has a chance that's held. Hayden had a blast that was held at the other end. And then Eberle. It's a 5-hole chance, and it's one that Skinner thought he had, and he should have had. So that one from McCann at 4:07 makes it 3-2. Gives Seattle a little bit of momentum here. Shots are 3-1 for the Kraken at 6.5 minutes. Grubauer would get hurt. It looked like he might have overextended, making a save. So during a TV timeout, he comes out, Jones goes in. The first shot faced by Jones goes in the net. It's Hyman from McDavid and Ekholm at 7:28. It's a one-timer from the slot. I don't know if Grubauer would have saved it, but that's tough for Jones, right? You're in the net. Oh, now here's Hyman, and this is his first 30-goal season of his career. Seattle presses to respond. Skinner with saves there. Things get pushy after an offside by Seattle. We then had a fight between Kostin and Hayden. Pretty good one there. Kostin won that. The Oilers press the next shift, but Bjorkstrand, wrist shot, sends it home. Gordon Alexiak with the assists at 14-18. So Seattle's not going away in this one. They're not letting Edmonton get way ahead of them. Oilers press for response. Seattle, though, they press with 2.5 minutes left. Things get pushy on a hold by Jones with 1:03 left. We're going to the third period, though, with the Oilers up by a score of 4-3. In the third, early press by Seattle. The shots are 3-0 for the Kraken at 3.5 minutes. Too many men on the ice. The Oilers get the power play on that. McDavid has a net feed. That's picked off. Bouchard then had a blast that was caught and held. Seattle with a power play. That's killed off. And immediately on a rush that follows, Kane gets the hat trick from Draisaitl and Kulak at 10:20. I think they said it's the 7th career hat trick for Kane. We then get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. The Oilers would get a power play, and they score on it. It's McDavid with his 58th of the season from Ekholm and Draisaitl at 16:10. So there's Ekholm again. That's what, his third assist? Yeah, a lot of assists for Ekholm today. I think he enjoys it in Edmonton. Now, in the final minute, Seattle would score. It's Tolvanen from Geekie and Alexiak. So they pull the goaltender, but they're unable to generate goals to tie it. Your final score is 6-4. The Oilers go to 39-23-8 on the season. Seattle 38-24-7. Shots on net favor Seattle the whole way. 14-9 in the first, 15-7 in the second, 8-7 in the third. Final shots 37-23 for Seattle. Power plays, Edmonton 1 for 3, Seattle 0 for 2. The hits, 24-16 for Seattle. Skinner saves 33 out of 37. Grubauer saves 7 out of 10. And then Jones saved 10 out of 13 in relief. So we'll see what Seattle does. Do they call up Drieger, give Drieger a shot at it? Really, for Seattle, I do have this concern in the back of my mind when it comes to goaltending. Even coming into today, they talked about how well Grubauer was playing, but the save percentage over that 7-game period was only a .902. So, again, we'll see, right? All right, next up, Carolina. This was a loss until it wasn't. I got to say, Philadelphia doing a really nice job of grabbing a loss from the jaws of victory today. So it's Anderson versus Sandstrom. Early jump for Carolina. Aho's denied on a net drive. Flyers press 5 minutes in, but the shots are 4-3 for the Canes at 6 minutes. This was a very Philadelphia and Carolina feel, meaning not a lot of really wide open hockey, not a lot of great chances. Flyers were blocking shots. They were defending well early on. Pressed by the Flyers at 8.5 minutes. Hayes is denied. There's a post for Chatfield on a press, and then a fantastic pass by Necas, and it's buried by Aho. Shea with the secondary assist at 14:52. The Canes look for another. Frost has a chance that deflects out, and then on a turnover, Shea buries, what is it, his 15th of the season, I believe? 14th or 15th, I think it's 15th. That's at 16:51, so Brady Shea with a goal and an assist in the first period. Necas then has a fast break that's defended, but after the first period, it's 2-0 Carolina. But, to their credit, Philadelphia fights back and has quite the second. Shots are 2-0 Flyers at 2.5 minutes. The Canes press, Lawton blocks, and there's nothing hitting the net for Carolina. Flyers get pinned down. The Canes are using their speed. Again, they're not getting shots at this point. Tippett fires one wide from the slot, and then Forster gets his first NHL goal. It was posted in on a rush. Beautiful goal for him. Frost and Lemieux with the assists at 4:56. Kotkaniemi to Fast is then picked off as Philadelphia is getting in the lane and picking off those passes. Canes press at 8.5 minutes. Sealer breaks up a 2-on-1. Farabee was denied on a rush. The game's opening up. And then during a delayed penalty, Aho scores from Nason. That's at 13:55. He wires that one top shelf. There were still no power plays in this game to this point. The Flyers look to respond. They get a power play, and then it becomes 31 seconds of 5-on-3. So they score on the 5-on-3. It's Noah Cates from Forster and Tippett at 18:18. The Canes then kill off the 5-on-4. So going into the third period, it's 3-2, and it feels like the Canes should be able to lock this down. However, Sanheim nearly ties it early in the third. JVR has a chance to save from in close. Shots are 4-2 for the Flyers, 3.5 minutes in. And then Farabee at 3:33 puts one around Anderson from Tippett and Cates. So all of a sudden, it's a tie game. Flyers look for the lead, and they would get it. Anderson completely caught out of position there. 10 the goal. Brendan Lemieux gets the goal from Frost at 5 minutes and 50 seconds, and the Flyers have their first and improbable lead of the game. They'd been down 3-1 and 2-0 in this one. Shots are 8-3 for Philadelphia at 8 minutes. Pesce was then robbed. The Flyers rush. We get a power play for the Flyers. That's killed off. 5:06 left. Another power play for the Flyers. That one's killed off as well. Really important kills by the Canes. 2:16 left. The Canes call a timeout. They pull the goaltender. Flyers could not hit the empty net. And with 7 seconds left, it becomes a 6-on-4 power play. But there's only 7 seconds left, right? Yeah, well, with 0.3 seconds left, Necas ties it at 19:59. So, yeah, 19:59 strikes again. In the overtime, Canes control early, and they end it. At 28 seconds, it's Aho from Slavin. It's a hat trick on a rush. This ensures that Flyers fans will go home miserable. Your final score is 5-4 for Carolina in overtime. They go to 45-15-8, so they're 2 points short of 100. On the Philadelphia side, they're 25-32-12 with the overtime loss. Shots on this one, 12-8 Carolina in the first, 13-4 Philadelphia in the second, 17-11 Carolina in the third. The only shot in the overtime is the one that Carolina gets and wins it. Final shots, 34-32 Carolina. Power plays, the Canes go 1-for-1. Philadelphia 1-for-4. The hits, 29-18 for Philadelphia. Anderson saves 28 out of 32. Sandstrom, 29 saves on 34 shots. So for Philly, pretty big win. All right, and last but not least in this video, we're going to talk about New Jersey and the Florida Panthers and what happens in this one, because this was kind of an unexpected result. So to start this one off, we had Schmid versus Bobrovsky, and man, what a switch this game ended up. Just amazing. So good early back and forth in this one. The shots are 2-0 for the Panthers, 3 minutes in. Devils get zone time. They're not getting to the net at this point. The Panthers press at 5 minutes. Montour has a shot that's held through a screen. So Schmid had a really good start to this game. Reinhardt's denied as the Panthers press. Meyer then fires one wide on a rush. Pressed by the Panthers with 7 minutes left. The shots are 14-3 in favor of the home team with 6 minutes left. So again, Schmid's standing on his head at this point. Tkachuk has a rush chance kicked aside. The Devils press with 3.5 minutes left. With 1:26 left, the Devils get a power play. So that rolls over into the second period where the Panthers finish the kill. Power play then for Florida, and that leads to a short-handed goal. Heischer wires it far corner on a rush at 2:16 from Marino and Graves. So that wasn't expected. And then the Devils finish the kill. Most important part of getting that shorthanded goal. Pressed by the Devils at 4 minutes. The shots are 3-2 Florida, 5 minutes in. There was a post for Smith, and then during that play, Boquist scores from Severson at 7:43. Barkov was down, and the Cats were kind of out of position on that. So the Panthers just kind of caught running around. And again, once Barkov goes down and Bobrovsky having to make a bunch of saves, eventually one of them goes in. So that makes it 2-0 New Jersey. We then get a power play for the Devils. That was killed off shortly thereafter. The Panthers get a power play, which was also killed off. Pressed by the Panthers after it ends with 1:15 left. There's too many Devils on the ice, so the Panthers get another power play. Reinhart tips one wide. They cycle. They run out of time in the second period. So after 2, it's 2-0 New Jersey. Third period, Devils finish the kill. Good forecheck by White. Hughes clears it out. The Devils have a 3-on-2. That misfires. Strong defense by the Devils at this point. Howla has a shot that's blocked. The Panthers clear it out. Verhaeghe then had a shot that's held on a 2-on-1. And things look like they're going to work out for New Jersey until at 6:13, Barkov buries one after a good press. Bounced off Mark Stahl as well. That looked painful. Montour with the secondary assist. And all of a sudden it's 2-1. Panthers then press for the tie. Momentum is all in their favor now. Lundell has a chance that's held. It's all Panthers. They end up getting a power play and they score on it. It is Reinhart for Montour and Verhaeghe at 7:54. Tkachuk then scores 50 seconds later from Verhaeghe and Gudas. So all of a sudden it is a lead, and it took roughly 2.5 minutes to go from 2-0 down to 3-2 up. These are the Florida Panthers from a couple years ago. Devils pressed to respond, but the Panthers were playing a 1-2-2. So 1 forward in, 2 in the center ice, and 2 back. Really a defensive structure they were employing, and it worked well. There was a near miss on the empty net goal for Reinhart from 200 feet away, but eventually he gets it. He does get the empty netter at 19:39. He would not be denied. That's his second goal of the game. He's been scoring pretty darn well lately. And your final score is 4-2 for the Panthers. They go to 35-27-7. They keep their playoff hopes alive. For New Jersey, they're 44-18-7 with the loss. This one's a tough one. Shots on net, 16-11 Florida in the first, 14-12 Florida in the second, 12-10 New Jersey in the third. Final shots 40-35 for Florida. Bobrovsky was a wall in that third period. Power plays, New Jersey 0 for 2, Florida 1 for 4. The hits 39-20 for Florida. Schmid saved 36 out of 39. He was excellent through the first 40 minutes. Bobrovsky 33 saves on 35 shots. He was fantastic in those final 20 minutes. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.